Welcome back to Just Pure Cars, everybody. You join me in the Honda Type R. As you know, this is the first car that I've bought on my journey to from family car to supercar. Maybe not go that far, but family car to something a little bit more fun. Anyway, so I've been living with the Type R for a few weeks now, and I wanted to give you a little roundup of my thoughts, a comprehensive review of living with the Type R, but I want to do it with a little twist. When I say comprehensive review, I want to do as much as possible in the shortest amount of time, so this is going to be fast. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And then what about the interior styling then? So, I mean, it is very much a Marmite car. You either love it or you hate it. Personally, I really like it. I think this crazy two-stage dash is just bizarre to look at. It's like a spaceship. And say the dials that they use are so retro. It is like looking like back in time into the 80s or something. But I really like that. And I think they've done a really good job of making it look different from everything else that's out there. So yeah, I think overall I'm really impressed with the interior styling. So let's talk about comfort. I mean, these seats are really comfortable. They're very supportive. They're very tight across the the middle of your back, and when you go into a corner, you do get pinned in by the wings. So it's really good. They hold you really well. I've been using this for daily commutes to work, and that's about an hour and a half on the motorway, and it's really comfortable. I'd say on par with the BMW I had before, maybe a little bit more comfortable because it's not quite as hard to ride, but yeah, so pretty good. I'd say comfort, great. So rear leg room seems fairly generous, but then I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so it's probably not a good test. Let's do this properly and have a real world example. So let's see. Enough room in the back there? Looking good? Let me get in. Yeah, I think leg room, tick. What I love is this 6-speed manual gearbox on that naturally aspirated engine. It's something that, if you watch any of these guys doing supercar videos on YouTube, they're all begging for to be brought back. So, you've got a McLaren with a double clutch gearbox and, twin turbo engine. That's great, and they love that, but actually what they really want is a naturally aspirated manual gearbox car, and that's why the Porsche 911R was raved about when it was first announced, because that's exactly what Porsche were giving their customers again. So, and resale prices of those went crazy when they were all sold out. I mean, I think somewhere in Europe they sold one for 1.1 million, and that's just insane for Porsche 911. So it just shows that there is a desire there for naturally aspirated manual gearbox cars, and that's what you get in this car. I mean, one thing I will say about the Type R, which is really frustrating, and that is the seat. When you do get into the back, you obviously tilt the seat forward, but it doesn't remember where it was before, so when you put it back, it doesn't lock back into place. So you've got to adjust your seat all over again. So that's not only the forward and back position, but also the angle of the seat itself. So that's a bit frustrating. I wish they had like some sort of, I don't know, mechanical memory thing that could just remember how it was before. I've seen that in other cars, so that's a bit frustrating. And then the other thing is the fuel economy. I say, if you're driving it sensibly, it's okay, and if you don't drive it sensibly, then it is just abysmal. So you hit that 5,500 rev range, and it's like, the only way I can describe it is when you drink a McDonald's milkshake and it's super thick and you're like really pulling hard on the straw and you're getting nothing, and all of a sudden it goes and you get loads of milkshake. That's exactly what it's like with the fuel tank on this thing. So you can be trying as hard as you like to get some driving normally, as soon as you hit that 5,500 rev range, you just see your fuel tank drain in front of your eyes. It's something to be careful of, but so tempted to just give it a little push every now and again, up to 5,500. Let's try it. To not do it, but chief thing is to not be silly, obviously, public highways. But yeah, so that's really the only two negatives that I can find right now is the seat when you get into the back. So when I do take the kids out, I've got to keep getting them in and out. I've got to keep adjusting my seat when I get back in it, and that's a bit frustrating. And then it is, yeah, when I shouldn't complain about the fuel thing. If you're going to have actually you're going to push it, it is going to drink fuel, but that's the only thing is the fuel economy could be better. And I think that's the benefit of modern engines. Yes, it sucks that they've gone to turbochargers to make them more efficient, but you get the efficiency side of things. So yeah, it swings and roundabouts. I mean, in terms of everyday usage, it's been really easy to drive. The steering's nice and sharp and responsive. The brakes could be a little bit sharper, but I think you read a lot of things online saying that the brakes aren't as sharp as the original Type R Civic, but I think they're pretty good. Hey, it could always be better, but these are pretty good. In terms of general usage around, like parking in a supermarket, yeah, no problem. It's not overly large. The car's got rear parking sensors, which makes life a bit easier. So yeah, it's a great car for everyday use. It's comfortable. It's quiet, really. When you just right now, we're just cruising. We're doing what, 30 mile an hour, and it's quiet. You can hear me quite clearly. The road noise isn't too intrusive. Yeah, pretty good. Visibility, excellent from the front of the cabin. Absolutely atrocious from the back. You look in that rear view mirror, and obviously the spoiler that goes across the back of the windscreen is right in the middle of the way. But I've seen there is a benefit to that. When you're driving at night and you're on the motorway or something, and you've got somebody behind you that's got those new halogen lights and they're stupidly bright, that spoiler is actually in the way of the lights, so you don't get blinded, which is a real nice touch. Because the rear view mirror is not an auto dimming one that I was used to from the BMW. In actual fact, that's one thing you can see that they haven't spent any money on, is the quality of the rear view mirror. And I can't describe it, I can't even really show it. I've tried to on the camera, it just doesn't come out very well, but when you look at it, you can just see the magnification on it, and there's like this weird haze around everything, and it's just, it's cheap glass. Whereas when any modern cars now, the rear view mirrors, they don't have that sort of halo-y effect. So yeah, hey, small things. I'm really nitpicking at things now. The suspension is hard. It's a hot hatch. It's meant to be hard. It's not a problem. It's not overly bumpy. I mean, well, this is a regular little side road, and I can feel all the drains when I drive over the drains. Let's just say that. And here's a little speed hump. I mean, it's not too bad. But in general, yeah, pretty good. As the temperature is dropping, it's getting colder. It's a good time to test out the heater, and I'm happy to say that the heater in this thing is really good. I was really worried I was going to miss my heated seats from the BMW, but because they're not leather, they're not cold when you get in, and the heater warms up really quickly, and yeah, it does a great job. And it's not loud either. You don't have to have the blower on full to get the heat to warm up, so yeah, pretty good in that respect. I really like the folding mirrors for when you're parking. You don't want people to bang into them, stuff, especially when you're parking on the side of the road. You do have to press the button, which is a bit frustrating. I'm sure there should be an option somewhere that basically auto folds them when you park up, but I haven't been able to find how to do that yet, so maybe they didn't put it in this option in this car. Reverse in to a space, which is going to be tight. There you go, everybody. Here's a good example of how easy this car is to reverse park, and pretty good. I'm not going to say my parking is excellent, because it is not, but I'm all right. Let's make sure we leave enough space. Boom, just like that. So would I buy one again? Do you know what? I think I would, providing it was the right price. Yeah, I think this is a really strong option for somebody in the market for a hot hatch. If I had to choose between this and a Golf GTI, it's a tough one. I had a Golf GTI, 2007 Golf GTI, a couple of years ago, and that's a really nice car, and I really like it, and I still think that is probably the best all-round hot hatch available, for a couple of reasons. Because it's, I guess it's practicality, and it's the fact that a Golf GTI is very unassuming. You could be anybody driving a Golf GTI. It doesn't show off like whether you're rich or poor or whatever. Just a boy racer, or just somebody who loves cars and loves, is passionate about performance cars. It doesn't say anything about you in that respect. It's quite a neutral car. So I don't know. I'd probably swing towards the Golf. I think the Golf just has a slight better build quality. The engine is very different in the Golf. Again, it's turbocharged, so you don't get that naturally aspirated thing. But overall, I think if you are in the market for something a bit different, then yeah, look at the Honda. Absolutely look at the Honda. It is a lot of fun, and hey, it looks a bit crazy. It looks very different from everything else. So yeah, good stuff. So, pros and cons. For me, pros of the Type R: styling, that amazing, gorgeous VTEC engine, the comfort from the cabin, and it is very practical. I think it is very practical. Loads of space in the back and the boot space. Cons: build quality in terms of the interior dash and the exterior panels. They're very flexible. They don't feel as rigid as I'd like like you see in other cars, but not the end of the world. The seat is a pain, really pain in the ass. When you put somebody in the back, you've got to readjust your seat every time. And then just general fuel economy could be better, especially when you're driving it hard. But overall, no, I'm really happy with it, and I would say, out of 5-star rating, I'd give it 3.5 stars, which I think is really strong performance for this. That it's above average, and I would definitely consider buying one again if I was in the market for a hot hatch. Somewhere between £7,000 and £10,000, I think you get a really nice one, depending on the age and mileage. So yeah, a really good job. I'm a big fan. So yeah, I can recommend it. Okay, with that then guys, that is the end of my review. I'm going to give the Honda Type R 3.5 stars. I think it's a really strong performance from the Honda, and I would highly recommend one if you're in the market to buy a hot hatch. I really hope you've liked the video. If you like it, hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. I envision making more content as soon as possible. But I'm going to throw a question out to you: do I keep the Type R for a bit longer, or should I sell it? I am swinging towards selling it, but hey, you may be able to persuade me to keep it for a bit longer. But with that, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers guys, bye.